Hello, welcome to Revelator Alf. Today we're talking about stories and how to end your stories, or how to end your columns. So in the traditional sense, every story needs a beginning, middle and an end. So you've got your headline, you've got your opening paragraphs or chapters or whatever it is. You've got into the main body of your story, and then right at the end, you'll need an ending to tie everything together. Now, an ending should round off the story. It should be a conclusion. It should tie up all the loose ends. A poor ending does none of that. It takes you up to the edge of the cliff, and then it just drops and it's just flat. Nothing happens. Okay, so the ending should encompass everything, tie up everything, but also, in the classic sense, it should reveal who done it. It should give you all the answers that you need. Or it could be a link to another story, perhaps. This could be a series of stories, and the ending is a key component of a particular story that leads into another story. Okay, so whatever it is, it has to be representative of the story. It has to tie up loose ends, or be a link to other stories, and it has to still engage. So, for example, if you are writing a factual piece, for a scientific journal, engineering journal, something like that, then obviously the body of your work will be largely factual. So the conclusion will have to represent the facts within the story, and also possibly link into other facts or other areas of study right at the very end. It is to review what you've written, and also what the final outcome is of that story, so the conclusion. In a creative piece, where you can be a bit more creative, if you like, within your endings, you can tie up all the loose ends, round off the story within your creative piece. Excuse me. Or you can actually inject more creativity within the conclusion to get people thinking, get the reader thinking a little bit more, and maybe wondering what's going on. A poor story will just leave it flat. Okay, so if you watched a film, you've read a book, and you've got all the way to the end, and your interest has been kept all the way through, then right at the end, it just falls flat, and you're left wondering, well, what was all that about? So you want to try and avoid that. If you're writing a piece that is representative of, it's a creative piece, but it is representative of past events, maybe it's a biographical piece, something like that, then you can still follow this pattern, beginning, middle and end, and you can still make the conclusions creative as you wish. Also, you can hold back some information from the main body of the story and just reveal that at the end. So a classic example of this, it's not so much a whodunit where everything is revealed at the end. This is more of a story about a person in a particular given situation, and we think that the main protagonist has got away with everything and has escaped, and all would be rosy. Then in the last 2 or 3 pages, the whole life spirals out of control based upon what you've read. So it flips the whole story on its head, and you're just left wondering, wow, what an ending to a story. So read a book if you want, or just read the ending. Well, I wouldn't suggest you do that, but read a book called Chicken Hawk by Robert Mason. It might not be to everybody's taste, and it's certainly a difficult read in some areas. It might be a bit boring for some people as well, because it's on a particular subject matter. However, the story in its construction is very good. Great beginning, great middle, but the ending is really, really good. The last 2 or 3 pages especially makes you, continues to engage you and continues to interest the reader, and that's what a good ending is. So hopefully that's giving you a few pointers to write a good conclusion, write a good ending, whether it's a paragraph, whether it's a last line, whether it's a last chapter, so on and so forth. Okay, thanks very much. Please leave a comments below and please subscribe. Okay, cheers.